we select new game. So let's go. Run the game in German because it's slightly faster in the opening like voice acting sequences. However, German is only available on the PAL version of the game. It's about 3 seconds faster than the fastest language option that you can select on NTSC, which is French. English and Japanese are both very slow. But in terms of actual text boxes, it makes no difference.
Öffne die Augen. Öffne die Augen.
So like most 3D Zelda games, the beginning of this game starts out rather slow. It's about 3.5 minutes of not really doing anything, followed by another 3 minutes of
Dies ist der Schikastein.
running and
Er
mashing
wird dir
text.
nach deinem langen Schlummer den richtigen Weg weisen. Halte den
So one thing I'm going
Schikastein
to be
über
doing
das
this one a lot.
Podest.
It's called whistle
Dann
sprinting,
wird der Weg sich dir öffnen.
where if you hold down the whistle button and mash the sprint button, you regen stamina, but go almost the same speed as normal sprinting. It's very helpful, but it's not very good on your hands. Do the awkward way that you have to hold the controller. It's a mouse cursor.
Du bist das Licht, das Hyrule wieder erstrahlen lassen wird. Es ist Zeit, deine Reise zu beginnen.
So the first thing I have to do is pick up a beetle. Gotta sneak up on him so you don't scare him away. Need the beetle for later in the run to make an attack up potion to make the end boss fights much more streamlined and require less weapons. As I said, there's a lot of running and text mashing and not much else at the beginning of the game.
Link! Link! Begib dich zu dem Ort, den der Schikastein dir weist.
I'm definitely skipping the banana box. I'm going for the fastest strats known outside of one tree launch in Hyrule Castle that I have not practiced. Steal this guy's shield. Yes, German version is the fastest language. In order to get off this tower quickly, I'm going to do a trick to cancel the fall damage, where if you start throwing a weapon and then either unequip a shield or equip a shield, or unequip your weapon, it resets the distance the Link is falling from. You're able to jump off tall things without taking damage, without having the paraglider. And I re-equip the shield because I want the shield equipped, but it's not necessary. And you have two choices of shrines that you can choose to go to first. You have to do all 4 of the shrines on the plateau in order to get off the plateau and get the paraglider. But between the first 2, you can either choose to go to Magnesis first and then to Bombs, or you can choose to go to Bombs first and then Magnesis. The time between them is about a second. Going to Bombs first is about a second faster, but going to Magnesis first gives you 2 extra arrows. The main benefit of going to Bombs first, in at least the no amiibo route, is that it saves on in-game time. Because the main amount of time that going to Bombs first takes extra compared to going to Magnesis first is that you teleport back up to the tower. Saving on in-game time is important for a later part in the run, where we're doing stasis launches through Hyrule Field, because you want it to be before 9 PM by the time you finish, so you don't have to deal with skeleton spawns that can really ruin your day. The way I do Bomb Shrine is, I guess, unnecessarily difficult. It doesn't really save much time, but I enjoy doing it. So it's hard to go into much detail of what just happened there, but for the first couple bombs you can take advantage of the fact that you can line of sight the bombs with Link and they will not hit you through walls, but they will still hit blocks through walls. And then for the second part, you can get quite a bit of distance by shield flipping in midair and then unequipping your shield before you hit the ground. Now we get talked at some more.
Oi, ho, ho. Uh-huh. ho! Huh?
The first time you take out your Sheikah slate on the plateau, Link has an animation where he looks at it, and then when he puts it away, there's an animation of him putting it away. You can save a little bit of time by putting yourself in another animation while you take out the Sheikah slate, so either crouching or jumping. Then you don't have to watch the animation. Magnesis is fairly straightforward. It's not really much to explain. Just some very normal looking Magnesis stuff, and then a shield flip, unequip over the gap. Guardian chose to shoot at me when I was basically the closest that I get to him. It's not worth it to dodge it. Now for the snowboarding section of the game. Which is a bit more precise than it looks. You can lose a lot of time by having a bad surf. Sometimes the D-pads on these controllers are not the best. I might unequip my shield there, but I got the module instead. So that wasn't exactly the best surf, but it wasn't terrible. So you can actually make it up here without having to heal, but between my surf and my climb, it's not quite fast enough. So there's quite a few ways to get through the shrine. Obviously you can do it the intended way. Or there's multiple ways to jump over this fence to my left, which you're probably not going to see, but it's there. There's ways to get on top of this gate that I'm going to lift up with the Cryonis block. Go straight to the end. And then there's also what I'm going to do, which is do a shield flip on top of a Cryonis block and use the rising momentum in order to get enough height to get to the top. And a little early. It saves about 7 seconds when you do it right. By getting close to that fire, you can reset the timer for like taking cold damage. You take cold damage every 10 seconds, I believe. By resetting the timer that one time, it gives you enough time to not have to heal. And so sadly, that's the end of the shield surfing in the route. There's only one more thing that I'm potentially going to use shield surfing for. So no amiibo, since we do quite a few more stasis launches, we'll pick up the sledgehammer to have enough durability to get through it all. So the thing about all these shield flip unequips that I've been doing is that depending on where you do them and how you do them, there's a chance of Link getting a state put on him that disallows him from gaining any momentum whenever you get hit by an object that would give you momentum. Like if you do a stasis launch and get hit by the boulder, Link would instead not go anywhere. So in order to clear that state, you have to ragdoll in some way. So either get hit by an object and not go anywhere, or unequip your shield when you're doing a shield surf. So if I don't get hit by this tree that I'm going to take as a ride up to the Temple of Time, I'm going to have to do that, and it's going to look rather confusing.
Oh.
It was 100% necessary in order to do the stasis launch afterward. First stasis launch, just ride a boulder. It's nice and relaxing. The second stasis launch. Switch vehicles to a tree. Yeah, so if you're too far to the left on that tree, sometimes you can land in the holes in the roof, and that's not very fun. The old man isn't very good at roof repair, it seems. So since that tree didn't hit me, I'm gonna have to ragdoll right here. Yes, I have visual cues for setting up the angle on all of these stasis launches. For that tree, there's some leaves on the ground that I use to like line up with Link's foot. So the rest of these stasis launches are heavily timing based. Most people use the fast 8 beeps at the end of the stasis in order to time their launch. Well, I'm assuming everybody does. I don't know what else you'd even use. So the first stasis launch you can actually land at these radishes, but it's weird and difficult. I don't fully understand it. I do all my menuing in the beginning of the stasis launch because there's some loading time that you can get stuck in when you're moving so fast. Which you can take advantage of by just doing other things in the pause menu. So, the goal is to get here before 2100, which I believe we have done. because that's when skeletons start spawning. Nice, so full health for the castle even. So sometimes this box takes a while to spawn. One last stasis launch up to the castle. So this loading screen can be really random, the amount of time it takes. That didn't seem too bad, but it can be like 3 seconds, and sometimes it's just like 15. It's terrible. So most of the time spent in the castle is collecting weapons and cooking +3, hopefully, attack up potion. You'll have to forgive my poor Magnesis aim. Moblins are highly oblivious when they're in the animation and they're looking around. You can kind of just do whatever you want. Backstab them. It's the first RNG part of the run. I need bomb arrows. Well, I don't need bomb arrows. I'd really like bomb arrows. Looks like the raw number of arrows that we got is pretty nice, but I only see one actual bomb arrow. Oh, 2 bomb arrows. Getting a lot of bomb arrows there can save an incredible amount of time on Calamity Game, and Phase 1 is the hardest part of the run. Okay, messed that up a little bit. Gonna get this shield, even though I usually don't get it. I don't get this, I guess. These mobs are strangely entranced by bombs. Kind of do whatever you want to them when they're kicking bombs. Campfire that I usually use to light this cooking pot is not on. Okay. +3! Damn it. Okay, so since that wasn't a +3 potion, which there's only a 12% chance of it being, I have to go collect this extra weapon now. Okay, so here's another difference between the categories, is that in Amiibo, you can summon a box from a Guardian Amiibo to do a launch up here. This is not where I meant to go. To regain stamina, and then keep climbing. But yeah, the Amiibo route is able to summon a box, and you can do a launch straight to the Sanctum. And it's really fun. But without Amiibo, you have to climb. There's a tree in my vision to the left that you can use to launch up to the sanctum, but I'm not going to do that launch because I haven't really practiced it. Probably stick to things that I've practiced at least a little bit. This guy's shooting at me, so direct his shot and fly. I'm just gonna go this way. Okay, that was not the fastest way to do that, but I guess I'll take it. Gave me annoying RNG. I'm not gonna get this one cycle. Okay. Didn't give me tornadoes at least. The spear isn't going to be able to kill him because stupid thing got in the way. So shoot him an extra time. For some reason, those flying bits around him are able to take durability off your weapon. It's really annoying. He got up early. I don't know what causes that to happen. All of these bosses have a set damage threshold that they're able to take once you knock them down, after which they start getting up. For some reason, like sometimes they get up early. Yeah, it just happened. Causes you to take an extra cycle. There's two things a Thunderblight can decide to do there. It can either lunge at you, which you can flurry, which is the better RNG, or it can do that. Which, it doesn't waste that much time. Okay, good. In phase 1, do you really want to push Thunderblight to phase 2 while he's in the middle of that animation of when he's rising? Because then the first thing he's going to do here, when he gets up, is try to pull out his shield. Break immediately and get a faster kill on him. Oh, normal arrows. See right there, he pulled out his shield instead of going up. Okay, now for the hard part, which I can definitely die on. That would be bad. I don't have any weapons to flare with right now. Can you pick up this? Pick up Great Sword for the next phase. Okay, technically my arrows are pretty good, so that wasn't too bad. This part is all RNG. He gave me good RNG. Obviously I need to hit that. I'll explain this after. Perfect. Okay, so what was going on there is that there's two animations. There's the animation of him getting up from the ground, and then there's the animation of him reapplying his invulnerability. If you hit him with a slam while he's in the animation of reapplying his invulnerability, you're able to knock him back down and get the nice stun lock.
Ganons Hass umgibt ihn wie ein Panzer. In diesem Zustand dringt
No,
kein
SPS runs
Angriff
plus
zu ihm
3.
durch. Ich werde diesen Hass zurückbringen. Deine Kraft ist sehr gering. Du musst die leuchtenden Stellen treffen. Link, ich
Now we
wünsche dir
have
Glück.
the most anticlimactic boss fight.
Jetzt oder nie! Ganon wird immer schwächer.
You just bait him to turn one way and go to the other side.
Jetzt! Ich dränge seinen Hass zurück.
It's definitely more of a victory lap than anything.
Er windet sich vor Schmerzen.
Even playing the game casually. Not that I haven't died here in a speedrun. As Kotaku has taken note of.
Link, jetzt!
Time is called,
Nur noch ein bisschen.
and the last arrow shot hits the eyeball.
Link, sieh nur! Sieh dir Ganons Kopf an! Das ist Ganon. Link! Streck!
I wasn't clicked on my timer. So, it is a no amiibo PB for me. Getting a +2 potion instead of +3 potion definitely hurts a lot. For me specifically, because I've barely practiced the fights with
Ich habe
+2
alles
potion.
miterlebt. Von
In
Anfang
the
an.
amiibo route, you're guaranteed
Dein
to get a +3 potion.
Dein Leiden. Dein
So much
Kampf.
more used to those fights.
Und deshalb hatte ich Vertrauen.
I haven't really ran
Ich
no
war mir
amiibo any
ganz sicher,
percent
du
for
würdest die
like
Verheerung Ganon zurückschlagen.
2 months? I don't know how long. It's not even the same route. And my old PB had a blood moon in it, which was very interesting.
Vielen Dank für alles. Erinnerst du dich?
Just glad I
Weißt
didn't
du noch,
die.
wer ich bin?
That was okay. Let's see. What's up next? I don't know how long you want me to let these credits roll. They're kind of forever. Probably want me out of here as soon as possible. I understand. I got it. So up next is Sonic Adventure DX. It's running Sonic Story. Be ran by Argic. Like 8 minutes ahead. I don't really want to waste it. I think we'd be behind if we watched all of the credits. The credits in this game are really long. Do you want me to just get off of here and let you and Cop Power talk for a while? I can show you what I would have done in no amiibo, or with amiibo after doing the castle. Just leave. Just get out of here. This is usually what takes place. It's a lot more fun than climbing. Also in the category that I've been running more now, all shrines, I do over 100 of these. Well, not just vertical launches, but between vertical launches and the normal type of box launch, I do over 100 of them. So it's pretty fun 9 hours. Alright. So, I'm gonna cut the stream, gonna toss it back over to Sven. I hope you guys enjoyed the run. Enjoy the rest of the marathon.